So next up is the drag and the stab scratch. On the drag, you can use the crossfader if you want to. There's a crossfader here. Of course, hopefully you saw the first video where I showed how to set up the turntables. If you didn't, go back and check that out before you do this. But with the drag scratch, you have the option of using the crossfader, but you don't have to. With the stab, you absolutely have to use the crossfader. So if you are right hand dominant, I would put that hand on the crossfader when you're doing a crossfader scratch. If you're left hand dominant, I would put that hand on the crossfader when you're doing a crossfader scratch. We're just getting into the crossfader scratches. We're not going to get deep into that. Again, if you want that kind of instruction, hit me up privately, either through IG, my website, or email, and I can teach you about transformer, flare, double click flare, and even the crab. Now, I have not perfected the crab. I won't say I've perfected it or mastered it, but I can do the crab. 2-finger crab, 4-finger crab, 3-finger crab, whatever you want to do. Today we're doing the drag and the stab scratch. Very simple, but not easy to do. So with the drag, it's sort of, the name sort of sounds like what you're doing. You're letting the sound drag, and you really need a voice for this. You can use drums, but a voice works a lot better.
It's very bad.
And you kind of want to use maybe something where they're using a long, like, yeah, or hey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that yeah. So the drag is just a. So normally it plays, this is normal playing speed.
Yeah.
This is fast playing speed.
Yeah.
And this is the drag play speed.
Yeah.
And so you kind of want to use the drag in combination with maybe a baby or a scribble scratch, where you're kind of going fast and slow. You're switching up the time variations. So you're going. And so because I'm right hand dominant, I leave that hand free for the crossfader. If I wanted to do the drag on my right hand, number one, I would flip over the record and use the acapella.
King drinking is very bad. Yo, I got a fake ID though. Yeah. Yeah.
So that slow sound is what you want. Is that it's like somebody's talking in slow motion. Both ways. Just try to act like you're going in slow motion. I like to go fast at first to give that contrast. But that's the drag. So the drag is slow. The stab is different. You're going to use your crossfader, right? So you sort of use the crossfader and your scratch hand as if you were stabbing the air, right? Say these are your knives. You're stabbing the air, stabbing the air, and you're using them both at the same time, like it was a double punch. Now, if you've taken karate or any type of martial art, you know what I'm talking about, the double punch, so you get the chest and the face at the same time. It's basically the same thing. You're using both hands in the same similar motion at the same time, but the key is that you're doing it at the same time. So stab, stab, stab. stab, 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 and then you want to cut off the back pull. So that part, cut it off by closing the crossfader. So if you're using the left turntable, crossfader is closed to the right. If you're using the right turntable, crossfader is closed to the left. It would be considered open right now because that's the hand that I'm using to scratch, but it's closed now. So to do the stab, should only get one sound. You might hear the click of the crossfader, but that's okay. In a crowd, and especially when other music is playing, they're not going to hear that, or the slip mat. So stab, 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 stab. If you do it too fast, you get that back pull. Because this is the motion I'm actually doing, but I'm cutting off that back pull. So you can get the forward motion or the backward motion. But you should only get one sound out of the stab motion. And if you're playing a track and you're going to do those two scratches to it, this is what it would sound like. So first we'll do the drag. In combination with the baby scratch and the scribble scratch, we're going to do the drag first. Some people like to make their drag wobble a little bit. But that's the drag, and then your stab is. And so that is getting you ready for the transformer scratch. I'm not going to teach that in this course because it's just 101. You really need to learn that and practice it in person, but I'll just demonstrate it real quick. It's kind of like. So yeah, transformer is just like that. I will teach it. Transformer is just a drag where you're cutting up the sound like a stab, but you're cutting it up instead of doing the same motion at the same time. You're doing two different motions. So your record hand is moving slowly back and forth from about 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and you're and that's it. So that is the stab, the drag, and the transformer. If you want to learn about flare, double click flare, and some of the other crossfader scratches, you'll have to hit me up or look at somebody else's video. I'll look at some other videos and link them in the description. Shout out to my other DJs out here doing your instruction thing. We need to teach these young DJs how to do it so that we all know how to do it, and your level of professionalism is really there. And in the next video, I'm going to show you some basic mix theory. I'm not going to show you how to mix, but the basic mix theory. See you there. Peace.